We're here for I know you're expecting, right? Last time on Lawful Stupid, but the thing is, we're going beyond the last time. We're going deep into the times, not just the last one, the 4 times. And we're here to talk about a character that you know as Barrett Skysong. But that's not his real name, is it?
No, it's not. His real name. Am I giving that now?
Yeah, give it.
It's Wick. That's it. Just Wick.
Just Wick. Just one name like Cher.
That's all he needs.
And we're going to talk about Wick. We're going to do another one-on-one shot like we did for all the other characters. And we will do for all the future characters as these ones inevitably fall and die peasants' deaths.
But did Finnegan die? You said he may come back? I don't know. You have left it very open.
What I did say is what I will always say forever and ever.
Let's say it at the same time. What one?
Death is never
the final. Shoot, screw it. I'm thinking
You're a fucking idiot. I love you. You perfect, precious child. Death is never final.
The final answer.
Final answer for 1,000 Alex. So we are going to go in the way back. So we find Wick in a carnival. Yes, not quite as illustrious as the menagerie, but some folks do have to go out there and find work. So you have the occasional, there's no other way to say it, party barge. And you have these large ships that drift from island to island, producing merriment. And that's where we find Wick, a young man. Describe him with your words.
So Wick is what he looks like, appears to be now. He's got a longer hair. It's in a part. It's a deep black color. He has these beautiful blue eyes, fair skin, baby face, but he's masculine stature for what a teenager would be. Think of like the typical jock in your high school. He had like the square jaw, broad shoulders, stood tall, looked confident. Very much the same Wick is every bit of that.
Yeah. And Wick fell in love instantly with the carnival and the showmanship and the characters that he saw come to life there in the ring. He noticed there was an artistry there. He noticed that these weren't the folks that they were before they stepped into that spotlight. And he watched people, his peers, people his age, older folks even, that were looking out with awe and wonder and just joy as they were laughing and clapping and enjoying the show. And then we see this gargantuan figure step on the stage. It's a full-blooded orc. Not very many survive on the Sapphire Seas. Normally we have half orcs, we have some sort of mix, but this is a full-blooded orc, giant even for his kind, standing and posing, this strong man. And he comes up wearing nothing but a leopard-spotted leotard and a big, bold, black mustache.
Of course.
And he is just performing these feats of strength, and he steps up to this boulder, this mammoth rock, and he comes and he gets underneath of it. He grunts, every muscle tensing, veins popping all over his body and on his face, tusks gritted against each other as he lifts the stone high above his head and releases it with a thundering crash. And the crowd loses their minds.
Seems. And Wick stands up in this crowd of people who are in this grassy area watching this from wherever they are and says, "You think that was impressive?" And I run up on stage, and as I reach out and touch this individual on the shoulder and say, "Could you stand back and as a real pro do it?" And as that happens, he begins to see himself formed out of this teenager in every facet. Maybe a little shorter, but definitely the same build. And so I look out to the crowd and I wave my hand as if I belong as part of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, behold.
Does your voice say the same?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It says exactly the same. Behold. And I go up underneath, and I lift every vein's popping out, every muscle tensed. You can see all of the fibers in all their glory, and I lift the boulder, and instead of just dropping it, I take it overhead, holding it there, and then release.
Well, I do need you to make a strength check.
Son of a biscuit. That, my friend, is not one of his skills. Give me a second here.
No, it's not. Therein lies the artistry.
It's 15.
15. Okay, so you take this boulder and you get up underneath of it, and your veins are popping, and you're struggling. You look huge, but you're not actually any stronger, really. And so as you go to lift this rock, you notice it's not budging until you lift, and this rock, all of a sudden, where you couldn't even get it off the ground, it's just a mass exertion of strength. It's as if it weighs nothing, and you throw it high into the air, 10 feet above your head, before it suddenly stops and crashes back to the earth. And the crowd goes bonkers, and this orc is just standing there next to you, mouth hanging open, arms slackened aside, dumbfounded that this has just happened.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do that very easy trick. And I will return back into what the students there, or my friends know me as the black-headed half-elf.
And the show kind of goes on, and you would have a good time, and everybody's kind of slapping you on the back when you come back in, and it's like, wow, it was really great. And then the show ends, and it's time for you to leave. But as you're walking out, trying to return to your home, a man approaches you with a big pot belly and a stogie in his mouth. And he goes, "Hey, kid, that was quite a trick."
Oh, it was nothing really. I mean, I've been doing that my whole life.
Oh, yeah, I can tell. You definitely didn't need... He takes a big draw from a cigar, pulls out a small piece of wood that you recognize as a wand. You definitely didn't need any levitate spells or nothing.
So that was just you, huh? I appreciate it, but I don't think I would have needed your help.
Well, I gotta disagree, but I'll tell you what, you got something special. I saw the way that you turned into my man there. Could you do that with someone else?
Quite literally anyone.
Could you do me?
And I look him up and down. I kind of walk around him. And I want to sleight of hand be able to like touch him without him realizing that I've touched him.
Yeah, roll that hand.
That's a 22.
Yeah, you're successful.
And as I don't know if he's looked back at me as I've walked around the back of him, but by the time I come back to his front, I have become him.
Now, I understand that with folks of your nature, you can look like me, but you can't do the things that I do, right?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
Well, and he prestidigitates, and he creates some like magic sparks from his hands.
I will attempt it, but I don't know what I know at this point in life. I will try to.
It doesn't come to you, and he goes,
"Okay,
that's what I thought, but try again."
Here we go, and my hands go up to mimic what he.
And he very discreetly makes some gestures at his side, and then sparks do erupt from your hand in the same fashion. Just together. Me and you.
We can do anything.
We can do anything. We can be anybody.
Go on.
and that would let us put on quite a show.
And when he says quite a show, he has to see my eyes just light up, even as the form of him.
Yeah, you can stop that. That's very creepy, actually. I don't usually look at myself with boyish wonder.
And I will return to Wick as the previous form.
That's better.
So where do we begin?
Well, like all good shows, we gotta take it on the road.
Good sir, I tell you, academia has never been a friend of mine. Naturally, if you checked my grades, I would come off as superior. I would show us outperforming many of my peers. But we all know that just like your orc man there, it was all a ruse. Showmanship, being on stage in the light in front of people, drawing surprise and delight from them, that's where I'm meant to be. So, of course, let's go on the road.
And then we kind of see a slight montage. We see years of Wick's life as he is traveling with the circus, as he's performing any role that exists. He's allowing these new talents, these new shows to be conducted, because literally any talent, any show, any ruse that they have at the carnival, he's able to immediately double and immediately increase the potential of that show twofold just by being there. And he even starts to create, as he watches the different, like I said, he especially as he gets to know these performers, he knows they're not the people they are on stage. He knows they are characters, they are roles, and he falls in love with this concept, and not only mimicking them, but creating his own. And that's how we come to eventually meet Barrett Skysong.
Yes, we do. And he is similar to that boyish, because the look that he portrayed in school was the one that he desired the most. Sort of those same things. The black hair is still long. He has a little bit of stubble now on his face that is also black. Eyes are maybe an even deeper blue, and he's certainly taller. He's always going to be a little bit taller than the people. Even if he's walking up on someone and he realizes they're taller, if he can be a little taller than them as he walks up, he's going to be.
Yep. And this Skysong figure is in its own right his own part of the show, and once again, as we know, you can't copy techniques, you can only copy appearance. But along the way, you start learning things from the other carnies, including the liar. And it turns out that Skysong, aptly named, has a great affinity for song. And that became a huge draw for the carnival. No longer copying other figures to perform these acts, going on as his own invented persona, as Barrett Skysong, performing and chanting with song, finding the true magic that exists within every verse, within every chord. Until one day, you land in Berkshire. And I think at this point in your life is when you've started to kind of go out onto your own a little bit. So you would frequent the taverns and you would kind of journey outside of the carnival. Is that fair to say?
Yes. I thought you were just going to keep painting this picture. I love it.
No, sometimes I want you to talk too big. And so I think that one evening at a tavern, you're playing your lyre and you're singing, and because you are very handsome, you chose the way you look, and you are this amalgamation of all the features you've admired in others, you get quite a bit of attention from the lady folk. They follow over you, they fawn over, and I think that's kind of the same everywhere you go. Probably to the point where it's not super interesting to you.
It's not. Now it's just blah. It's not even that interesting anymore.
Yeah.
people are only interested in looks, and it's obvious. I've created my own poison, and I'm dealing with it.
There is one figure, though, that you notice in Berkshire, a waitress in the tavern. She is a tiefling woman with horns curled back, and even they look like they're inscribed with these markings in ivory that you don't recognize. And she's got this faint pale pink hair that wraps in braids down her neck and her back all the way down to her waist in a tight long braid. And she wears simple but very clean cotton garb, and she's the only woman that's not looking at me twice.
I think maybe after one of these shows, I've collected my payment that is due me, and maybe the place is closing up. She's cleaning up behind a bar, and I take a seat at said bar. Excuse me,
So,
is the bar still open? I'd love to have a drink.
of course, what would you like?
2 of whatever you prefer.
Okay. And she produces 2 cups, and she sets them on the table.
What does she pour in there?
You have to take a drink to find out.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll sniff it first. Do a sniff test. Do I know what it is, Darby?
It smells rich to you. I don't think that you particularly recognize it.
Can I roll to see if I know it? Because I would like to impress her. If I know what it is, I'd like to be able to say it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If that's what you want, who am I to deny you? It's goat's milk.
I'll sniff and go, darling, I love goat's milk myself, but could you add something a little bit stronger to this, please?
You said it's what I like, and I don't care for spirits.
Really? You know what? Yeah, I'll hold the spirits. And I will chug it as if it is a shot still and slam it.
You have a milk mustache.
I'm going to keep it.
Yep, no, that's perfect. I just, my goal is to introduce as many mustaches as possible.
You've done well.
So fire mustache, big mustache, and there's milk mustache.
It's basically like Avatar: Last Airbender of mustaches.
This isn't a future episode, but there is a character that has like a seaweed mustache, but it's fine. Some people won't have, you won't have heard that yet, but we've recorded it and it's coming. So mustache mania here on Lawful Stupid. Anyway, so you drink the goat's milk.
Yes.
It's delicious.
And I know I have the milk mustache, and I keep it, and I stare back at her. As I don't know if she's drinking hers or not.
Yeah, you ordered 2.
Yes, but I intended, of course, for you to have one.
Oh, my stars. She's sipping it as she.
You said she had markings on her horns.
Yeah, it's not like words or runes, but they like an intricate pattern that almost looks like it's she's got
like
kind
a
of
cool
like
haircut, like a dude gets a fade and puts like a shape into it or something for a football game.
No, it's something that it definitely looks intentional. It doesn't look like it's naturally occurred, but she's got kind of these darker horns. They're like a charcoal gray kind of horns, and then these stand out. They look like they're made of ivory, and they kind of intersect and weave through the horns, so as like a design or a pattern on top of them.
What do I call you?
Most people say barmaid. Some folk just say hey girl.
Okay, I don't like either of those particularly, and I don't know that you do either.
Are you asking for my name, sir?
One would assume, yes.
Well, I suppose you have given me something. It starts with an L.
Leona. Lucy.
You got
Layla.
You got it in one.
Leona?
That's it.
Okay. Listen, I too am a bit of a swindler. And I know what I'm being lied to. That's okay. I'll call you Leona until you feel like I've earned your trust and can know your real name.
I'll tell you what, you can call me L, and if you do things that please me, I'll give you some more toast.
Go on.
Oh, I don't know. That's up to you.
Listen, L. I've traveled all over the Sapphire Sea. I've been to many large cities, small cities, towns, taverns, castles. And you know what they all have in common?
Surrounded by water.
And smart. While true, yes. The thing they all have in common is she a place where I can walk up to her, or no? Or is the bar between us?
The bar is between you.
Can I make my way back there, or is that allowed? Just kind of slowly as I'm talking.
I mean, I'm not sure. You can do it. Nothing is physically preventing you.
Okay, let's do this. If she's across from me, what I'll be doing is leaning in closer. And I'll have my elbows on the bar, leaning in closer and closer as I say this. Mm-hmm. What they all have in common is that the women there cannot keep themselves away from me. Except, and I'm close enough now that I'm like pretty close noses, and I'll bring up and tap for you, and tap her nose, and then sit back. And that, Elle, intrigues me deeply.
Well, and she kind of, you notice the moment that you touched her, she kind of stiffened. Kind of looks like you may have ruffled her there. And she says, well, as charming and as humble as you are, I shall have to continue to strive to keep my womanly woes in check. But I fear my strength is waning.
Can I help you clean up?
Sure.
Where would you like me to start?
Well, and she walks back and produces a leather apron and a large broom. She goes, the stables need mucking out.
And so I am secretly taken very much aback by this woman, and I will, to her surprise, take the apron and take the, what'd you say it was?
It's like a big old broom.
Yeah, I'll take that, and I'm gonna, and I'll point again. Where are the stables? Which direction?
Right around back.
See you soon.
And this I think this keeps going for a while, and I think that you come to this tavern pretty regularly, and you converse with Elle, and you try to find out more. And you're always willing to try to subvert her expectations. I think that's something that you learned on this stage. So when something happens like the stables need mucking out, you hop to it and you subvert those expectations. And when she expects you to be prickly, you're kind. And when she expects you to be full of yourself, you're humble. And I think that you play this game for a while. I think every night after your show. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's been about a week, and you're performing some menial task for fixing a chair that's wobbly in the tavern late at night. And she turns to you and she goes, "Hi."
Oh, hello. I'm just putting a coaster underneath this chair. It seems there's a lot of these that are rickety in this place.
It's not really a permanent solution. I.
Go on. You are...
That's the end of it. L-I.
Lee. Okay. Got it. We'll take some more time.
So I heard the circus is leaving.
Yes, some of the largest cities around here, we are expected to hit them up, and then it will be gone in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Well then. Next big adventure for you, right?
Just going down the road as usual. The show must go on, as they say.
They do.
What will you do? Are you going to be here for forever?
I don't have very many other prospects.
Why don't you come to the carnival with us? I mean, you can do the same thing there. You can help us with the horses or whatever, maintain whatever. Yes, you could come with us, and then we could hang out all the time. And then I still have a lot of letters to learn.
Right away and join the circus, huh?
I can assure you, you would never hurt for money, or food, or clothing, or shelter.
I don't think life on the road is for me.
But how do you know? If you've never been out on the road, you've been here your entire life, right?
More or less.
Then how would you know?
Guess I wouldn't. But the idea is so terrifying to me. I like it here. I like that nobody gives me grief. I like that I know my customers. I'd like to think they like me. I like a warm hearth and bread, and I like goat's milk.
If fire and goat's milk and bread are the only things you need, and you have my friendship, and you would know, you would meet everyone, and that they are lovely people, and you would have all of those other things you wouldn't want for anything. And if you wanted to, work for something because you felt like you weren't earning it, I'm sure we could work something out there too. But Elle, I've never met anyone like you, and I fear that I never will again. And that if I let this opportunity slip for me to spend more time with you, that I may never get to back, and I don't know when we'll come back this way.
She looks up at you. Don't
And Barrett just stares at her for a second. And that's all he needs is a second. And he says, "Okay."
Okay.
Okay, I'll go pack my things. I guess, do you still have the room here available for... Okay.
Very affordable.
Elle? Yeah. You mean more to me already than you could ever know. The world is a stage, and I've been an actor on it, a player for many, many years. And though it's filled many voids in my life, and the sound of people cheering my name and calling for me and love, it has not filled the void that you have filled. And I hope I'm not being too forward, but I'm very excited that you would even ask me to stay. So of course, I'll stay.
And I think as you turn to leave out of the bar to go get your things, she calls to you as you leave. Lilith.
No, I'm Barrett. Lilith.
Yes.
Lilith. The roll sweetly from your lips.
That's a lot of L's.
Not your fault. I'll be back.
And so I think that you stay for a while. And I think that weeks turn into months. What are you doing to keep yourself occupied in this small town?
I think I've almost fallen into the same routine that she has, that I'm playing there each night, maybe a few other taverns in the area.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing. I play on stage, and then I help her close down at the end of the night. And it's almost, I've just fallen into her lifestyle. And I think that I've written several songs that are based on our relationship or my circumstances, and they've become very popular. But in doing so, there's a certain tinge of guilt that's been riding me, because I know what I am and sort of the stigma on the race of people that I am from, and her not knowing that has been, over that time, eating me up.
Yeah, I think that every time I think you compose these ballads about Barrett, Skysong, and Lilith, and I think that every time you use the name Barrett in these songs, it kind of cuts you, because you know it's not your name.
And so it's one night after maybe a large festival that I feel just the most guilt about not having told her. So I as we are cleaning up, as we typically do, we're closing down. That's when I'll we're at the bar, probably a scenario. She's cleaning some glasses, and I'm drinking goat's milk. Lilith.
Yes.
I've got something I need to tell you, and I probably should have told you a long time ago. It didn't seem to matter at the time, and it probably doesn't even matter now.
And she bolsters up, and she's got this smile, and she goes, "Oh, I've been waiting for this."
And so I will turn for the first time in a very long time into just the basic changeling form. So it's got patches of like a gray skin with patches of a blue intermingling. My hair is still black. It's still the same, clothes the same, but my skin and my eyes are even a grayish color as well.
And she stumbles backwards, kind of recoils from you as this happens.
Don't be afraid. It's me. It's still me.
What is this?
I'm a changeling, Lilith. We can shift into other people, change our features, change our physical appearance, and that's what I am. That's who I am. My real name is Wick. My birth name is Wick.
So you're not even you.
But I am me. And I turn back into Barrett Skysong. This is still me, very much me. I have all the same skills. I have the same knowledge of who you are. I simply can turn into this is just another form for me. And no one's seen that in so long. And I thought that I could show you, and it would be something else that we share together.
You discard faces, lives, like clothes. Barrett, you're a monster.
Lilith, I'm not a monster. I'm the one who has helped you clean stables for months, who stayed behind. Because I love you.
To me.
Yes, but if everyone knew who I was, my people, my changelings, are not very welcomed anywhere. And you, of all people, should know that. Your people are not accepted many places.
That's because your people are... it's by your very nature. You're deceivers, you're liars, you're cheats.
I thought that you might understand that me staying here meant that I was not those things. That you've known me for months. How could you say that?
She holds up a hand as you say that. I don't know you at all.
Lilith, please, seek reason.
Barrett, you need to leave.
And he'll, call out a couple more times. Presumably,
you need to leave.
So then he'll take one more drink of this goat's milk, slam it on the bar, turn back into Barrett Skysong, grab his instrument, and storm out.
Where do you go?
I go back to wherever the carnival would have set up in town, presumably a large open field.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there and I'm playing my instrument and playing maybe one of the songs I wrote that was, in a way, me telling Lilith about us without her understanding what I was saying.
Yeah, sing it right now.
Oh, Lilith, I'm a changeling, and I'm trying to change for the better.
'Cause I can't hide the man I am inside. I'm awake, burning at both ends. Lily, come back to me, and I will make you see
that I'm the man you want me to be.
Yeah, I'll be whatever you want me to be.
I can change any part of my body.
I can have a bigger dick if you want me to.
I thought we would make it one episode. Just one.
I don't have to even have balls.
I just want you to tell everybody the episode we just recorded brought tears to my eyes. They're going to think, oh, how sad.
I can just be a shaft man.
Literally just a chode.
Deaf man. I'll show you my big plan to marry you.
My new hit song is called Shower Not Grower. Yeah, so play that song and just into the heavens.
I'm pretty sure the name of the song is Whatever You Want Me to Be, and I am going to write it later. But okay, so you're wait.
All right, here we go.
You're very melancholy in this field, playing this song, pouring your heart into it. You're playing the lyre, which makes you a player and a liar.
Snap.
And dawn comes.
She's got to. Surely she's over by now. She's slept, and so I'll go to where her home is.
Okay.
Lilith, are you in there?
Make a perception check.
Oh, 23.
You notice the shades rustle with movement.
Lilith, I know you're in there. I can see the curtains moving.
And you just hear a call from inside. I open the door open. What do you want?
I want you. I want to talk to you. There's got to be something we can do to get through this.
And she opens the door just a crack, just so that you can see one of her eyes. And she stares at you intently, and she goes, I never want to see you again.
And I know she's telling the truth because of who she is, the kind of person she is. But I already have a plan in mind, and so I simply say to her, fine, as you wish. And I walk away.
And the door closes.
And so I will spend the next couple weeks as someone else, several people, lying low in town, nondescript, not important individuals, until the moment is right. And I would like, as a new individual, Fiona, again, description, black hair, she's a very beautiful woman. I want to get a job at the at the bar or wherever it is, the inn that Lilith works at.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. You are hired as a barmaid.
And I think to speed along, so I already know several things about Lilith, but I pretend not to like her at first. I'm very off-putting. I'm almost cold as she is. And that somehow eventually shows up as a sort of friendship for them. Like, the colder they can be to one another, the more funny it is. That's how they bond.
And so she's greeting you as she does most mornings. I hope you get syphilis and die.
Be better than being your friend.
I agree. And she goes back to work.
and that goes on until she has a new beau.
Yes. It was kind of a big to-do when he came to town. Jasper is his name, and he is a tiefling like Lilith. He's got these big red horns that go off to the side of his head, and he wears really, really like expensive clothing. You've been around enough, as Wick to, you've met your fair share of nobles, and not nobles, but well-to-do aristocrats, people of means, and instantly that this guy is top tier. And there are rumors, and you of course hear them, that he has something to do with the Alliance, that he's the son of a vested.
And I don't like him at all. And so I have to keep the facade as being her friend. And so every opportunity that I get, I'm in his way. I'm trying to shoo him away from us because I just want Lilith to myself in whatever way I can get her. And I've been able to be her friend, and so I'll take that.
Yeah, and you have mixed success. I think you're able to ruin your fair share of evenings, but Jasper is persistent in his courting. And even I think there's a point where he takes kind of an interest in you as Fiona, which I don't know if you said that your name's Fiona. As Fiona, he kind of takes an interest, and he's asking you about like where you came from and what you're doing here. And I think that as you're kind of giving this cold shoulder, you don't like him, and he confesses to you, I just listen. You're Lilith's best friend, and I just want to. I want to make a good impression, and I thought if I could get you to like me, it would help my chances of it.
My job is to never like you.
That seems like an odd, very specific condition of employment, especially for somebody in the hospitality industry. Is there anything that we can do about that?
Listen, you seem well off enough that you could have anyone you want. Yet you traipse in here to this small inn, this place where not a lot of people get out of, and find my friend Lilith. And I just find it very odd.
I mean, I was as taken aback as you, honestly, but you're right. I could have just about any woman I wanted, and I found the one that I want. I intend to propose marriage.
That infuriates me as Wick being Fiona.
That really lights your wick.
And that really wicks my wick, and I will just glare at him and then storm away.
Damn it.
In my head, I know now that if he's going to propose, that I won't be in the picture, or it'll be very difficult. And so I have to come up with something to get him out of the picture. And so I'm going to write a note in her handwriting.
So do you do you shift into her?
Not yet. So the plan will be, I'm going to have him meet me somewhere as Lilith.
Okay.
Out on the outskirts of the city, maybe an abandoned house or something. And it says, meet me here, and just for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But he's
I
going
have a
to
surprise for you. Or...
Yes.
Okay.
2 days hence.
2 days hence. And okay. And you're writing that as though you are Lilith.
Yes.
Okay.
And so now it's 2 days later, and I've been sort of at a distance from this building, and I'm traveling to, and right as I pull up to the door to go in, presumably before he arrives, I shift into Lilith, and I open the door.
And when you open the door, you are... It's this kind of a more or less abandoned house. Even the roof is patchy, and moonlight streams in, and it falls on. You see a figure in the shadows, presumably Jasper. But as this figure steps into the moonlight, you see it's Lilith.
Why are you? Why? And I'm trying to talk in her voice, but it's almost. Why are you here?
I know that's you, Wick.
And so, it's back into Wick. How did you know?
Into Wick or into Skysong?
Into Wick. Just it doesn't want to hide the facade from Lilith.
Okay.
How did you know? How did you know this? I don't even know what to ask now. How?
And she just starts to laugh.
I know something's wrong because she does not laugh. Especially now that she knows what's wrong with you.
And then you see her shape twist and become Jasper for a moment. And then the laughter continues. As the figure shifts again into a gray skin changeling man.
No words. Just stares.
Cat got your tongue?
For the first time in my life, yes.
That's fair. This was kind of... I would say it was rude of me, but what were you going to do with me? What were you going to do with Jasper?
I don't know. I love Lilith, and I was going to do whatever it took for her to...
Were you gonna kill me?
And I'll I have a dagger in my hand, put it behind my back. No, I wasn't.
That's all right. Well, I know who you are because I'm evil. And well, the thing about being a changeling is you kind of don't want to fucking advertise it. So running around with a circus and changing forms every night, that you weren't hard to track down.
Yeah, I was warned sometime, a year or two after that I shouldn't be shifting as much. And I don't remember who or why, but I took their advice mostly.
Yeah, it was a little bit too late for that. The only thing that threw me was I followed the fucking circus out of here thinking that you would just become another member. I didn't know that you'd stayed in this town. And then I met Lilith, and I tell you what, it kind of halfway made sense.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't know if I could overcome her internalized hatred for our race, but pretty lovely.
Yeah, just that one small thing.
I am here for you.
I don't need someone to talk to about this. I will get over it.
I don't want you. That's not what I'm offering. I'm not like your friend. I'm here to tell you that you have a greater purpose.
Go on.
We are disliked, we are despised, we are loathed creatures within this world, and any one of us on our own will meet the fate that you met with Lilith, an eventual disgust and rejection, and honestly, some podunk motherfucker will probably either put a pitchfork through your gut or come at you with torches. That's how the story ends.
I suppose.
But that's only if we're alone.
Are you saying we're not alone?
If we're not, there's an organization, there's a gathering of us, call ourselves Foe. And it's not just us changelings, though we are the very, let no one get it twisted. We are the very best at what we do. But there's some magic folks there who change their appearance. That's our thing. Infiltration, information. We play all the sides against each other, and that means we're the only ones that
You said play.
Play.
Like stage. And who are these people that we're playing?
Oh, folks from the Alliance, insurgents, folks in the menagerie, third parties, businessmen, pirates, you name it.
And what does your organization do? Simply infiltrate what?
Infiltrate. So I go, and he turns into like a very almost cartoonish pirate with like a big black beard and a hat and a peg leg and a hook hand. He goes, "Arr, matey, arr, arr, arr," and then I'm a pirate for a while. And then he changes, and he's a very stiff-looking young human man in an Alliance uniform. And he's like robot walking, like very like, and I will follow all my orders, and I will find out what is in the Alliance. And he goes through and he shifts forms. He goes, we infiltrate, we become part of these organizations, and we find out things. Information is more valuable than gold, friend.
And I've taken this all in, and sort of almost the desire to be back on stage where people, one, maybe don't even realize it's me, but two, like having the foes, like it's igniting a fire again. And I say to him, I'm in, but I just have to be sure. As awkward as this seems, you've been with Lilith as Jasper. Could she ever love me as Barrett?
You're not bad at what we do yourself. And if you were Barrett, yeah, I think she could absolutely love you. The problem is she knows that Barrett is Wick, and she will never love Wick.
Okay. When do we start?
Immediately. And it is not long after that you find yourself in a persona that you've gotten pretty comfortable with, as Fiona Journey, in this standard Alliance uniform, as you're reporting to your superior officer, your contact, your handler.
Jacobo,
yes.
I call it, but okay, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Ensign Journey. That's not what he sounds like. Hold on a second. Yes. Ensign Journey. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
Yes. We have your first assignment.
Ooh, yay. I'm excited.
Well, you've put in a lot of work to get where you are. Our training system is not exactly lax.
Well, it was very difficult, so maybe you should step it up. I'm just kidding. It's great.
Well, you might find this next part a little bit more engaging. We want you to infiltrate Rombius?
I don't know that I've heard of that, Rombius.
You would know. The Free State of Rombius is your as the Alliance. It is the greatest bastion of freedom, your greatest enemy. You would have heard about it in training, I'm sure.
I don't know that I've heard many people getting into Rombius.
No, it's we've never got an agent inside, and we hope for you to be the first.
I'm gonna wink and say, "You got it, Jack."
Please, Yakubo. So, what we're going to have you do is, are you familiar with the Ram of Bastia?
Who isn't?
We want you to go, and this is going to get a little weird, but
Kill him?
No, that would be pretty straightforward. What we would like you to do is, he obviously is the greatest spy master that the Resistance has. We'd like you to become a spy for Rombius, a double agent.
Oh my gosh! What an honor! Thank you, Jack.
We honestly shouldn't thank me. We don't know how long this assignment's going to be. Even working for Ramel, we'll have to feed you information. It'll be non-critical, but it should make you look pretty good. Our hope is that if you earn enough favor with him, then eventually you can find some excuse, some way to get into Rombius yourself.
Listen, you don't need to worry about me. I'll handle my end.
All right, and he hands out a small silver bell. It's like a jingle bell, like a round spherical bell. Hands it to you. He goes, you won't be able to contact me with this, but I'll be able to contact you. If you hear it ring, just grab it with make sure your bare skin is in contact with it, and I'll be able to give you updates. And from time to time, I might check in, or I might have additional instructions.
Won't it be weird for a bell to ring on me suddenly?
It's very faint and only you can hear it. It's magic.
Okay, plot hole solved.
With the powers of magic! Okay. You have your instructions.
I guess I'll ring the bell. Talking to you.
Yes, just give me a ring. No, it doesn't work that way. It is one-way communication. It's very important to remember. Okay, bye. And then I'll say a good 2 years prior to the events of our story, you find yourself in Tangia.
Yes, go on.
You're in Tangia, and you remember what your goal is.
So I need to. I'm talking to Ramel.
So?
I need to go see Ramel.
Oh, you just.
I'm going to be whatever menial thing I need to be. Whether I have contacts that have let me know, from the foe. We have means and ways of getting in. Some, I don't know what the word is. Basically, some help getting to that level.
I got you. Yeah, you got like an introduction, pretty much. Okay, that does make sense. It is worth noting, just for all the listeners at home, that you do have contacts through the foe, and you do have contacts through the Alliance. They do not know about each other. So it's the Alliance. Just so it's very clear, because there's a lot of duplicity here. The Alliance only know you as Fiona Journey.
And the rebellion or the resistance only know me as Barrett Skysong.
Barrett Skysong. And so, as Barrett, you are through the foe. I think another agent who's been kind of working in the area. An agent that's been working in the area as a kind of like corrupt wharf master, kind of selling information and secrets and trade through the foe, and kind of assuming this persona is able to make the introduction for you to Ramel. And he goes, now why would I want a huge scene-making bard on my payroll?
My friend Ramel. Do I call you Ramel? Do I call you the Ram? Which do you prefer?
Ramel is fine.
Oh,
The Ram of Bastille was my father.
And my condolences. The thing about pretty people is that often people think they are also dumb. Like, you almost can't hold those two things in context.
I agree. And he gestures to his pristine face with no scars or markings on it. He goes, "That's why I'm glad I'll always have my looks."
Yes, and so what my role is to be that pretty face and that seemingly oblivious bard. I can get to a lot of places because people think they can talk around me, and I'm just not going to pay attention to it. I can get in and out of places without being seen. Second story work is nothing, pretty much anything you need me to do. I've been very successful up to this point.
Well, you come highly recommended. I tell you what, we'll start you off on some smaller jobs and we'll see what kind of treasures you can bring me.
There's anything you need.
Well, Skysong, welcome aboard. And he extends you a hand to shake.
Thank you, the Ram of Bastille.
That's my father.
I'm kidding, I know. See, stupid, I was acting stupid, that was part of it.
Oh, I just thought you were. Anyway, you're a very good actor. And time passes, and eventually, about 2 years later, as you've proven yourself and traded information and secrets and, kind of led this life of three faces and have lied and cheated and worked your way through, Ram calls you in because he has a very important job for you.
Well, how can it be of service?
I want you to accompany these folks here to Ramius. And that's what we're in this session.
It's beautifully made. I love it.
So this has been Devin's second of 15 one-on-one shots for the new characters he will introduce as they die.
Yeah.
Horrible peasants' deaths.
Yep.
I look forward to meeting his next character. I think that by the time that we catch up with the coordinates we're at now, he should be on his fourth character.
Will they have a shirt on? Will they not? We don't know. I do.
Probably not. The odds are at this point where
2 out of 3 of my characters have not worn shirts.
Yeah, and that's just on the podcast.
You should see me now, Mom.
You can only see me.
I'm a successful D&D podcast.
Thank you so much for listening. Tune in for Garrett's one-on-one shot so we can get to know that boy, and we'll see how these two new faces fare on the crew of Fate's Compass.
Yes, can't wait.
We love you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.